Paul Di Berardino from Proeye Communications and Security Systems, and this presentation is part 1, Cel-Fi Enhancers. A little about me. I started in the field of radio communications as a teenager from about the age of 16. I used to do a lot of CB radio and two-way radio repairs and tinkering. I obtained an associate diploma in electronics engineering in 1996 and a diploma of electronics in 2002. I had worked for the federal government agency, Spectrum Management Agency, which became the Australian Communications and Media Authority in that same year, in 1997, which later on merged with the Australian Broadcasting Authority, which became the Australian Communications and Media Authority. And my stint with the government was between 1997 and 2013. I registered and created Proeye Communications and Security Systems, which was originally Proeye Security Systems, and that was from 1999 onwards. And I actually ran the business while working for the federal government. However, I did have external employment agreements with the federal government at the time. And I am the developer of the Cel-Fi Enhancer. I began R&D in Cel-Fi research back in 2013, and the basis was to understand about the operation of the Cel-Fi repeaters. I developed the Cel-Fi Enhancer back in about 2013-14 period. And that was for the Cel-Fi repeaters. I also just recently developed a remote connection solution for the Cel-Fi Pro and the Cel-Fi Go repeaters. So what's a Cel-Fi Enhancer? It's a metal enclosure designed to house the Cel-Fi network or window unit. So if you're talking about, say, the old 3G Cel-Fi repeaters, the RS218s and 250s, we talk about window units. If we talk about Cel-Fi Pro, we talk about coverage unit. The enhancer is made of 304 grade stainless steel to accommodate different environments, for example, industrial, medical, domestic. However, it's not marine grade, and we can make 316 grade Cel-Fi enhancers if required. The Cel-Fi enhancers are cut, laser cut, and then they're actually manually welded and polished. So the Cel-Fi Enhancer was designed to basically allow the repeater pair to be placed close together from about 30 centimeters to a meter apart. Why would you use the Cel-Fi Enhancer? It reduces the UNI link output power by up to 30 dB. The UNI link power is the 5 gigahertz uplink and downlink channels. So it reduces that power enormously. By reducing that power enormously, allows you to install multiple repeaters. So for example, if you're installing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of repeaters, then these are one of the challenges that you're going to have, is interference between the repeater networks themselves from the 5 gigahertz UNI channels. It also reduces risk from other 5 gig devices. So for example, when you're doing installing repeaters in commercial and medical or commercial environments especially, you'll probably be faced with access points using 5 gigahertz spectrum. Then the Cel-Fi Enhancers is what you need to overcome one of these major challenges. Cel-Fi Enhancer compatibility. They were originally designed for the RS218s and the RS250s. However, we've used them basically on the RS218s, the 250s and the Pro versions, and they can be used for the Cel-Fi Duos and the Duo Pluses. Here's a Cel-Fi Enhancer example. So here we have the RS250, which is inside the metal enclosure, which is our Cel-Fi Enhancer, and below is the coverage unit. And the coverage unit has been mounted in a clear PVC box. That clear PVC box also has some drill holes in it for ventilation. Proof of concept on how the Cel-Fi Enhancer worked. We actually installed our first Cel-Fi Enhancer in the Bendigo Hospital in Victoria, 2013. And the purpose of installing that Cel-Fi enhancer was that our client was reporting multiple repeater failure. So the UNI link channel was dropping, the repeater was dropping the signal, so people working at the Bendigo Hospital in the basement area were actually losing phone coverage. And the reason why they were losing phone coverage is due to signal reflections. The 5 GHz signal was bouncing around as vehicles would drive by and goods were moved through that basement. It was causing reflections and causing the repeater link to drop. And we were faced with a challenge, because if we put the repeater pair close together to improve the 5 gig link reliability, we wouldn't achieve the output power or the coverage from the repeater. Once we put the Cel-Fi enhancer in, we were basically able to keep the repeater pair close together and also achieve optimal output performance, so better 3G coverage within that basement. And the link was reliable after that. Our client actually called us and thanked us that they couldn't believe how much coverage the repeater was providing after we installed the enhancer. In hospitals, as an example, Canberra Private Hospital had a number of Cel-Fi repeaters installed, the old 3G types, and those repeaters were failing due to 5 GHz UNI link failure, just from interference from Wi-Fi access points and the likes. So the enhancers were used to resolve that problem as well. Cel-Fi enhancers is also used at the Gold Coast Private Hospital to allow all 3 repeater networks to be installed, and each pair was separated by between 30 centimeters and a meter, but each network pair, so each group of 2, so for example a Vodafone pair was separated by a Telstra pair by 3 meters. So you would have 3 sets of repeaters in a span of 6 meters. So you would have 1, 2 and 3, and they all appear to work nice and reliably. And we also looked at Mazda. They contacted us and had a Cel-Fi Pro repeater in Victoria, Mulgrave, and the Cel-Fi repeater, again the 5 GHz link UNI channel was failing, and they also weren't getting optimal coverage out of the repeater pair. So we applied our Cel-Fi enhancer, and the office was a 2-floor, so ground and first floor. It was an open plan office, and the location of the repeater provided optimal coverage across both floors. So we could say that it provided up to about 2,000 square meters of coverage from that one repeater. So we did a signal walkthrough, signal tests up and down stairs, and found the repeater provided optimal output power, and by keeping the 2 repeaters close together, we've maintained that UNI 5 gig link reliability. We did a software analysis as our proof of concept as well, as we're undertaking our R&D. So here is the Cel-Fi Pro repeater. It's a Optus 4G, 3G Pro, and this is a scenario where there was no Cel-Fi enhancer. When we connected Cel-Fi Wave via USB cable, we looked at the data, and you can see the output power, which is downlink TX power, is minus 24 dBm. So the coverage from the repeater is really small. In a normal situation, you would have to separate this repeater by 10 meters. So then we applied our Cel-Fi enhancer. We placed the network unit inside the metal enclosure, put the coverage unit next to it. We did another software analysis using the Cel-Fi Wave, and this time the TX power, the downlink TX power, went up to 6 dBm. So that's a 30 dB gain just by doing that. Now the only way you could achieve this in a normal conventional style is by separating repeaters by 10 meters. So you can see there was a gain of 1001. We also look at the UNI link channel while we had the Cel-Fi enhancer installed, and the output power, the CU TX power and NU TX power is 1 and minus 5 dBm. Now by separating a repeater by 10 meters, if you're going through walls and the likes, the UNI TX power can go up as high as 20 dBm. In our configuration, you're looking at around 1 to probably minus 10 dBm of output power. So the benefit here is that the CU and NU TX power on 5 gigs, so not to be confused with the 3G and 4G signals that have been repeated, this is the actual link power, is very low. And the benefit of this is by keeping the link power low, we go on to the next slide, allows multiple repeater installs, so we can cover all 3 networks a lot easier. It aids in solutions too where DAS can't be, so you can now start entering almost like a small scale DAS like installation, because you can install multiple repeaters and not have to worry about the repeaters interfering with each other. And it improves reliability in repeater performance. So if the 5 gig link stays up nice and happily, then the repeater is going to operate nice and happily and the client's going to be happy. The Cel-Fi Enhancer also allows that optimal output power. So you don't have to go and separate them by 10 meters to go and get that optimal 3G and 4G signal out. So the performance is going to remain high. And most importantly, where repeaters are installed in basements and in hospitals, in car parks, in offices and the likes, the install is going to be a lot easier in designing, because all you need to do is say, okay, here is a particular room that we want to provide repeater coverage in, let's put the pair in there and not having to worry about anything else. Cel-Fi Enhancer outputs. So it enables all 3 repeaters, all 3 repeater networks to be operated in closer proximity. It aids in multiple repeater installations where DAS systems can't be installed due to scale or cost. So you now have a new market, and that is your small to medium scale building solutions, whereas large scale DAS systems are probably still the likely option. And it aids in the reduction of repeater design, install and complexity. So that is an important output. And most importantly, it aids in achieving optimal repeater performance. So we have good reliability, link reliability, and optimal 3G, 4G coverage. Outcomes. It improves client and end user satisfaction. So your client's going to be a lot happier if the repeaters are working well and providing optimal repeating performance. From repeater product reliability, you're going to get increased sales, which is what everyone wants at the end of the day. Thank you for watching this presentation. If you need to contact me, my details are as follows. I'm Paul Liberadino from Proeye Communications and Security Systems. Thank you for watching.